to my allotment. Today I was going to be doing trimming up the chilli plants for overwintering, but glorious weather, far too good to be stuck in the polytunnel. So I'm going to get out here on the pot. And I've got a job I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and that's prepare a new raspberry bed. I ordered a few months ago about 40 canes, and I've got about 4 different varieties coming. So I really need to crack on and get a bed sorted out and ready for them. Now, if you know anything about the raspberries, they can be a bit of invasive. They have the rhizome roots which grow underneath the ground, and they just keep marching on, and every now and again they'll throw a new cane up and then keep going, and another new cane. And I don't want those going through the rest of the plot, so I need to contain them. Now luckily, thanks to my dear uncle, he had a huge pile of these things, roofing slates, and these are what they call 10 by 20s, so they're 10 inches wide, 20 inches long. Now I'm hoping these are pretty resilient. What I'm hoping to do with these is I've just set out where I want the 2 beds, so there'll be one long bed there and another long bed there, and then I'm going to divide that into 2 for the 4 different varieties, so 1 in each. And then I'm going to put these in the ground straight down like that and line all the beds, and hopefully that will contain them. This bit of ground here, it's right next to the polytunnel, it gets afternoon sun, but it's a bit of a wasted space, so I thought that this would be a good spot for a permanent planting of the raspberries, and hopefully it'll be minimal maintenance. And once I've got them in, I should give it a really good thick mulch over the top, and that should suppress any weeds. So anyway, that's enough rambling on from me. I'm going to crack on with this, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so I've dug my first trench out, and basically what I've done is I've used this little trenching spade, which is quite narrow, it's only about 6 inches wide, and I've used the length of it as a depth gauge, so we are about 1 spit of that deep. The length of that is a little bit shorter than the slates, so that's fine because I'm going to be mulching over the top. Take your time to get that nice and flat all the way along down your trench, and to get the bottom level. Stand back, take a good look at it, it's worth doing, taking the time on that. So then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to offer up these slates. I'm going to start with the first one right in there, and then the next one I'm going to overlap it by about an inch, inch and a half, something like that, and push that down, and then the next one same again. I'm just going to work all the way along the edge of this trench, okay, like so. Now I can see straight away that I'm a little bit high just here, so this is where you can just adjust it. And once you've got it right, I know this end looks good, I can see that straight away. I'm going to use one of these, which there was a bit of an interesting debate on our Facebook group actually recently about this particular tool. I've always known it as a mattock, but there's all sorts of other names. So yeah, that's quite interesting. In fact, it's quite surprising how many different names there are for this tool. Anyway, once I've got it ready and done like that, I'm just going to offer this back in, just scrape this soil back in. As you can see, it's a really efficient tool at moving soil. Breaks it up as it goes. Alright, so they're in situ. As it's slate, it's not going to rot like wood would. So yeah, great material for doing this particular job. I'm going to continue on down, and then I'll come back to you when I've finished the whole thing, and you can have a little look, see what it looks like. Okay, so that's the raspberry beds done. Hopefully when they arrive in November, I should be putting the early ones, the early variety ones on the outside, the late ones on the inside. And the reason for that is that once they're done, I can cut them down, and then I can get access to these ones on the back here. I have got this path going through. The reason for that is it's a pretty useless strip of ground through there. This polytunnel goes down underneath it. It's permanently waterlogged. The other reason for me planting the raspberries here is these are obviously going to be permanent beds. I won't be moving these in any hurry. But the main reason is that this doesn't really get a lot of sunlight, and it's only normally, I mean, it's quite a sunny day now, but we've got houses just at the back here, and they cast quite a shadow. So it's pretty damp most of the time. It needs very little watering over here. and the soil is actually, even in the summer, is quite a bit cooler because it's so damp. It doesn't really get good sunlight until sort of after 12 o'clock. Now, if you know anything about raspberries, you know the best raspberries in the world come from Scotland, which is 500 miles that way, and their climate's fairly, a lot cooler than ours. So I'm hoping that this is an ideal spot for them and that they'll do well here. But anyway, so there it is, slate raspberry beds. Good thing about this as well, it's going to stop any of this couch grass that almost lives in the paths from coming into here, and it's going to stop the raspberries going out into the rest of the plot. So I'm quite pleased with that. Anyway, have a good day, good bit of gardening, and enjoy your plots.